What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Streetcar Shenanigans YouTube channel, and in today's video, it's going to be a little bit longer. We are introducing the first Cobra build-off of the year. That's going to be fun. We also have some other updates around the shop, so make sure you're ready to watch this one all the way through and enjoy. So let's get into it. Intro. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in once again. If you're new to the channel, make sure you guys are hitting subscribe down below so you can stay up to date on what you guys are about to get introduced to you. If you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you give us a thumbs up or leave a comment down below that you're checking in. We very much appreciate it. The help, it helps the channel, and we've been seeing some pretty good growth now that we've been trying to upload regularly. But let's put that to the side. Let's get into the good stuff. All right, so we are going to be announcing our first Cobra build-off. We have a handful of Cobras that are going to be coming in and out of the shop over the next, let's say, 3 months. And these two are so similar that we cannot lose the content of having these two compete against each other. You're going to see two Cobras that have a lot of similar modifications. They are both going to be Fore Innovations fuel systems. They're both 1050X injectors. This is what they come in for. Fuel systems injectors. One already has a 2.8 Kenne Bell Mammoth on it. This one has a Whipple on it that we just put on. This one actually has a lot of modifications. Kenne Bell car already had a lot of supporting modifications, so that one's pretty much done. We have to put a fuel system on it. We have to make sure everything's done nice and right, and we have to put isolators in the front to raise it up. We'll talk about that one in a second. This one, however, got a lot of work. This one got the transmission was removed, 26 spline conversion, RXT clutch. It's going to be getting an FTBR kit, which hasn't been done yet. He wants some gauges. That hasn't been done yet, but our opportunity for the dyno is sooner rather than later, so we'll do those after. Main stuff, Fore Innovations fuel system that he supplied. Obviously, you see the 2.9 Whipple non-crusher. You see the 4 lines and 180s that we always like to do on the front. And it's overall really, really clean build, high boost intake, JLT oil separator. This might switch to a catch can next time, but for now we're going to leave it just like we're leaving the EGR functional. We want this thing to be maintained function. Redid the vacuum lines like always. Just really try to pay attention to the detail like we like to do and clean the thing up a lot. It has a Wander Racing head cooling mod. I already said the modifications to the clutch. And that is the majority of the wrap-up on this for now. But it is a nice car. It's got nice seats in it. Interior's clean. It's got a lot of carbon fiber accents. Rear seat delete. What is unique on this car is the BC Forge wheels. They are unique, and being DSG, they match pretty well. So it's kind of a cool looking setup. Car sits nice and right. Has those newer conversion style taillights, like for the later model cars. But the paint's in good shape. Underneath of this car is a little bit more weathered than the next car I'm going to show you. But now that it has all the modifications under the hood, it doesn't even matter because it looks great. All right, let's move on to Contender 2. So now this one is, this one's going to ring some bells because I really like the plate on this car, and it's a black Cobra with a Kenne Bell. So OG Cobra fans will know. All right, player 2 has entered the chat, and this is the snakebite Cobra that everybody knows and loves all over the internet. There's like 6.5 million views on this video from like 2008. Crazy, crazy. All right, just kidding. It's not that car, but it is pretty much the same thing. So it is a Kenne Bell Black Cobra. It has 70,000 miles on it. Super well maintained. It's really clean. It has a unique wheel that I haven't seen, so it's kind of crazy. Both these cars have wheels that I've never seen on a Cobra before. I forget the name, but they kind of remind me of like the Fitzke 5-spoke wheels. Let's look at the engine. So this is a 2.8 liter Mammoth Kenne Bell. I actually really like these. These look sweet. I didn't notice those before. It is mid for fuel system install, so it does not have the lines yet, but Dan already had the blower off. He put the 1050X injectors in. He's got the lines on it. That all fit. He did the crossover in the rear. So on most of these, until they get like north of 1,000, like we plan on this one making, they will come in, feed one, go loop to the other side, and that will go to the regulator, and then it'll go back. Clean, simple, easy. Then once you get above the 800 wheel number, we really like to start feeding both the rails off of a Y block and returning both the rails to the regulator. It's a lot more line, but it does make sure that you maintain constant fuel flow over the tops of all the injectors. We made his tanks a little dirtier than they were. He had this thing polished up really nice. He doesn't drive it much. He's likely spends more time cleaning it than he does driving it, but he does take good care of it. This already has a twin disc clutch that was just recently put in by another shop. Does not have a Magnum, so both these cars have stock T56s. This one does not have any rear suspension modifications to it either. So that one will have the FTBR kit eventually. This one does have the gauges already, but overall these cars are extremely similar. Both of them have AFCO upgraded heat exchangers. Actually, this one looks like it's Fluidyne, yeah. We put an AFCO on Mike's. Yeah, very similar. Same intake manifold. They both make like 20, they're both going to make like 20, 21 pounds of boost. So we're really going to be able to compare these blowers on E85 on stock bottom end cars and see what they do. So we're kind of excited. It's the best A to B comparison that we've had at the shop at the same time. I don't think there's been another time where we've had two cars that are so similar with only the blower being the difference. This car's got big mid-pipe headers with cats. That car has long tube headers. So, I mean, they're both, once again, very similar. Which is kind of nice, too, because the tune-up should be pretty similar, too. So that'll help out a lot as well. But I like them both. I have a hard time deciding between the two. They're both really nice. So comment down below, what do you guys think? Which one do you think is going to make more power? And which one do you think is going to sound cooler on the dyno? Obviously, the Kenne belt is known for the sound, especially on the 2.2, but they didn't make very much power. This car previously made 570 at the tire on 93 octane. So it'll be curious to see what we could pick up on E85. And then, of course, the Whipple car. Well, since I got your guys' attention, let me also bring you guys to the other side of the shop to show you what we've been working on for the last few weeks. Wrapping up or getting very close on the white car, so I'll show you guys that in a second, and the turbo Gremlin that Dan showed you guys in the last video briefly. This thing is almost wrapped up too. Here's just some small stuff. We made a M&M shifter mount for the Gremlin. Hold the Mac valve. We got this all laser cut and designed. And it sits like this with the driver, so it's kind of at an angle. Worked out nicely, it turned out good. We got a new tubing notcher from JD Squared, so we're going to start on the fab work on Zach's car, the 3-valve. We need this to do the cage and the floor, and then contemplating a bender to do some other odds and ends. Let's wrap this one up because this one's quick. You guys have seen it a couple times already. So this is a Pro Mod 88 that we put on here. The only thing that's really left, we recently put the alternator on, so we mounted that up. But we finished all the hot side, cold side. We finished the exhaust, 5-inch aluminum exhaust, which is great with an O2 bung. He's going to be doing all the plumbing and everything. What I have left is maintenance fuel cell. And I have to get this to stay about there. You can see that's what the cutout's for, obviously. Get some airflow crammed into that thing. So we're going to be making mounts off of these bars and roughly there. That's going to come up, and I have to build a surround around this to be legal. And then off those surrounds will go to those mounts, and I need it to be removable. So I got the tubing coming to finish that. And then off of that mount, I need to put the oil sump tank, which is this monster, on the backside. So some people said, oh, you could have done this with the turbo. You could have moved it over here. With the packaging, all this stuff up here, it's extremely tight as it is. And we definitely tried to maximize the efficiency of the space. And we did. So I'm really happy with this tank, though. We had this all designed and cut out. We just welded it up today. I don't know if you'll be able to see the baffling inside. or on the tank pickups. So that's good. Big 16 fittings. And then the cutout for the turbo. Good stuff. The weld quality turned out really good. I'm really proud of myself on that. Give myself a pat on the back. This was the one I did the first time when I was greedy with space. And this one came out pretty good too. It's unfortunate, it's just a little bit too big. And where I had the sump and fittings built, I didn't like how it welded in the corners because it was kind of tough for me. And then also it went right into the alternator belt. A slight oversight that cost me, obviously. All right, 3-valve, last update. Except for showing you this. Steve has polished the mini tubs to get the rust off of them. So one of these days I will spend a couple hours and finish the sheet metal work that needs to be done in here. Because the last guy didn't finish it up. All right, here we go. 3-valve. So we made radiator mounts. Real simple. I used the Goki Garage flush 5/16 thread pitch mounts on this. So it's 4 5/16 bolts holding it on. I actually just welded the fan shroud on like we've done in the past. I like how that is. We used an all-star radiator and I cut everything off basically and then put my own bungs on. We got rid of the cap. We're going to be using a remote reservoir with a pressure cap on it, so this will go to that. So the fans are in. The turbos are obviously been on. I think you guys seen the wastegate dump tubes. So this is really the only new main thing. You know, we got brake tabs on it, but that's not a big deal. But Zach said he wants it to still be a street car, and street cars don't have holes in the bumper for the exhaust. They have full exhaust systems. So this one is ready for that. We got the exhaust on both sides of the bell housing ready to go. Until the floor bar is done, this is as far as the exhaust is going to go. Because the floor bars are like here, and then I got to probably convert this to oval and run it along the bottom of the floor bars. So it'll be a little tricky, but it turned out really good. I'm happy with it. Symmetrical still side to side. I think you guys have seen the intake conversion. So that's a Wilson 105 throttle body with a 4-inch Vangeon clamp conversion, and we did that all adapting it from that Ford racing throttle body that was there. So now when we put the intercooler in here, the intercooler is going to be like here-ish, and the top of it is a 4-inch Vangeon clamp, so it's literally going to sit here and then flip right into the throttle body. It's going to be great. This thing is going to be so good. We got to come up with a mount for the throttle cable. I think I'm just going to screw it into the side of the intake manifold. This is really thick, so I'll be able to tap that. And then we got to run the cable, obviously, to the pedal. We ordered a Watson Racing mechanical pedal. And then I need the Motion Raceworks engine travel limiter that I got to put in on this side. And that is going to be it for the engine bay on this thing. So next week, I pray that the intercooler gets here because it's kind of supposed to be here this week. And once that's mounted, this can all get blown apart and this can go get painted because we are done with the front end as far as major modifications. So we added the oil filter relocation bracket here. Fittings will come off, go snake onto the MMR bracket, and we should not have to do any more welding on the front of this car for the most part. I'm going to do a bumper stop for the hood, and that is it. That and the intercooler mounting, and we're good. Then we'll start working on chassis work. So all that's really left on this thing is going to be chassis work, wiring, and some slight fuel system modifications. I know that sounds like a lot of work, but compared to what has been completed on this thing, it's not that much. So really pumped on the progress on this thing. And I think that's all I'm ready to share. I think that's all I'm ready to share with you guys. So once again, thank you so much for watching our videos as always. Make sure you're subscribing to the channel and you hit the alerts button so you guys know that we're posting. We do try to post twice a week, although we haven't been consistent with the days on that, so I'm not going to say any days, but we do post twice a week, so make sure you subscribe so you can follow along. And next week, hopefully, we have both these Cobras on the dyno, so we can get the results on which one sounds better, which one makes more power. And I don't think we're going to have much input on which one's more fun to drive, but still a little cold outside here in central Illinois, or northern Illinois. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.